Welcome here to the Board Meeting podcast. This is sort of a spin-off from the Ridealong channel with me, Cookie, on YouTube. And the idea is that I'm not going to spend ages editing and putting loads of fancy captions and graphics and stuff on top of this to help you learn. This is me having a little discussion with myself while I'm windsurfing along right now, which is, if you're not looking at the screen, this is, I don't know, 20-ish knots and probably 25 knots of wind I'm in right now. So if it sounds a little bit less good audio than you're used to on a podcast, that's because I am bouncing across the top of the water on a very windy afternoon here in Vassiliki. And my hope is that people will be listening to this sort of thing on your way to the beach, on the way to your lake or your local spot, wherever it might be. And this will get your brain thinking, your brain into windsurf gear, listening to the slapping water that's in front of me, and listening to a few of these little ideas that I'm going to throw at you along the way through this and some other episodes in the series. And today's discussion with myself, sounds weird even saying that, but today's discussion with myself is all about which type of jibe you should do and why. Because whether you call them the power jibe, the step jibe, the strap-to-strap jibe, whatever name you give it, it involves some sort of carving downwind slide and an exit on the other side. Why might you try one or the other? And also, what does the difference mean? What do those different names mean? Because sometimes there's different words deliberately put in there that might clarify things a little bit when you hear people talking about them. So, here comes the metronome. This is the board meeting series. So then when I'm coaching people to windsurf, generally I will start with the step jibe. And it's timing differences with these jibes that make the first sort of difference for them. The step jibe, you're coming around your corner, you make your foot change first, then you flick the rig. And the advantages for that are it resembles the non-planing jibe. It's much easier to get the feeling and the practice and the light winds before you then crank it up and start doing it at planing speeds. You make the foot change roughly on a run, or often the way I describe it is when you start to get uncomfortable, I'm carving around the corner, it starts to get a bit uncomfortable. That's the moment that you should be trying to change your feet. That's the step jibe, and that puts you in a nice position for the exit as well. The rig flip and bringing the rig round to the other side. It's quite easy, I suppose, or it's easier. Don't want to oversimplify it. It's easier because your feet are in the right place for that rig flip. The strap-to-strap jibe, or often simplified just the strap jibe, I'll explain why in just a second. You're staying in the front strap when you release the sail, catch the sail on the new side, sail away, almost switch stance if you like. So one foot is in the wrong strap for a second or 10, however long you want to do it. Then you change your feet. Meaning that the actual rig flip is happening in this sort of twisted, sideways, uncomfortable position. It's very difficult, or it's harder to flick the rig. And it's even harder for light wind practice to flick the rig. You can do non-planing jibes that you finish switch starts and flick the rig first. They're just a bit harder to practice. Now, why might you do one or the other then? A lot of it sure has come down to personal preference or years of ingraining one or the other. A lot of it you might decide, like I am right now, coming around the corner and generally going from starboard to port, just from years of practicing in certain conditions, I seem to favour flicking the rig still in the front strap when I go in that direction, and I favour stepping when I'm going in the other direction. And if you really look through my videos on this channel, you'll notice I've done that quite a lot without really thinking about it. I just automatically go around a jibe, and from starboard I tend to flick the rig first. And the reason is, the place that I spent so long learning to jibe and getting better at jibing was a bit wavy on the outside, a bit wavy when I went down on starboard, and a lot flatter when I came back on port. Because the summary I could give you is if it's wavier I tend to go round a strap to strap style because it keeps me locked on that board nicely when I'm going around the corner, through the waves, through the chop. When it's a bit flatter and I'm just trying to keep that board nice and fast and flat, then I step first and I can make a nice powerful exit. So you could look at it as being one of those two, flatter or wavier. I'd either go step or strap to strap. I even want to say there's a quick consideration, the strap style jibe that I just did on the outside a moment ago, I didn't actually go strap to strap. It doesn't have to go straight into the new front foot strap. If I've got speed, if I'm really powered up, I will. But you don't have to, you can easily go, call it strap to step, I suppose you could. So what's a power jibe? Where does this fit in? Now, I think that's slightly been lost in translation amongst different windsurfers in different countries, because a lot of people will call the power jibe any sort of a strap or step jibe. They're not talking about oversheeting or a slalom jibe, which is what a power jibe is sometimes referred to. So sometimes when people are talking power jibes, they're talking about oversheeting, laying that rig down on the inside and trying to depower the sail a little bit. Hence power. I've got too much power. How do you depower it? Once you're good at it, you can depower the sail by doing this power jibe style sheet in to the inside. Or what I tend to call that one is a lay down jibe. Racing style lay down jibe. The problem with the lay down jibe or the power jibe is if you don't do it right, you'll end up powering yourself up more rather than depowering it. When you first start to pull that sail to the inside and crank it in a little bit, a lot of the time that'll just power the sail up until you're actually reasonably good at jibing. So if your jibes are doing okay, and I don't necessarily mean planing out on the exit, but they're dry more than they're wet, you're making it around them, the power jibe isn't the logical next step, or the lay down slalom jibe isn't the logical next step. What I'd say is a great one to start working on after that is the duck jibe. Duck jibe, practice on the land. Get that rig flip completely automatic so you don't need to think about it at all. Then start trying to do it on a broad reach at full speed. And again, the timings to help us out with this one. For a duck jibe, go broad, go fast, duck, then go round the rest of the jibe. You're ducking on the broad reach on the entrance, not all the way around the jibe, not once you reach the end of it. Well, I'm coming in, you can't see the screen right now, I'm coming to Vassiliki Bay, full stack right now, I'm on a 4-4 slash. It's the freestyle sail from 0.7, I'm bearing away into broad reach. There's a duck, my feet are still in the straps, there's a foot change. Actually hit a lull, that was annoying. Hit a lull just as I ducked the rig. Come on, wind, there it goes, back on again. That's unfortunate timing. Back up to speed once again. So it's definitely a broad reach when I ducked that rig, which made the rig go light. It's very simple logic and some figuring out if you're not getting the duck jibe right. There's two ways. You're either ducking the rig too early or too late. Or I suppose the third one is you need to practice ducking the rig and make it quicker. But if you're ducking the rig too early, you're quite likely to turn into the old Superman duck jibe, where the mast hits the water and you full power Superman out the front door. Quite fun, but not usually what you're aiming for. That's if you're ducking the rig too early. So you haven't gone broad enough, fast enough, and you're not deep enough into the broad reach. The other one is ducking the rig too late. And what will happen if you duck the rig too late on a jibe, on a duck jibe, you've gone broad reach and you've gone further, you're closer to a run or even right on a run, straight downwind. The first half of the duck is super easy and you reach the clue, you can get to the back of the sail and then it gets ripped out of your hand. That tells you you're ducking that rig too late. Woo. Now, if you're watching this on the screen, you can probably see, boy, it is mega windy right now. I'm in a 4-4 slash I just mentioned, and it's way too much power right now. Super stacked. Even I'm on the flattest bit of water I can find. I've come right upwind by the mountain. But I've got a lot of power to hold on to. The board I'm on is a 103 Ignite, so it's a full freestyle setup I'm on right now. The slash freestyle sail, the 103 Ignite from Starboard, the freestyle board. Not the easiest conditions, not the easiest kit, I should say, for jibing on. I prefer free ridey style, something like a Spy and a Code, Spy the sail and a Code the freestyle wave board to make the jibing a lot easier. But woo, it's because just before this we had a bit of a freestyle session with some guys, so I kept the kit on. I came out to record this board meeting series. But it does work to jibe on this once you get the hang of it, but it's quite a specific carving position. Let's see if I can find some space to go around a carve. Woo, at full speed in the gust. Back foot out early, broad reach, carve. Still broad reach, and went straight into the front foot strap on that strap to strap jibe. Ooh, and there's that punch of power once again. So thanks, of course, for joining me on the board meeting podcast. This is one in a series I'm going to keep going through this summer. A lot less edited, a lot less graphics and extra clips on the screen to show what I'm talking about. But like I said, I hope just from hearing me flying across the water right now, you're getting some stoke. Whoa, there's a massive gust. You're getting excited for wherever you happen to be windsurfing right now, and I'd love to know, where's your home spot? Stick it in the comments right now. We're en route to somewhere. What's the goal of the session? And I think that's going to be my leaving tip as I come back towards Vassiliki Bay right now, is have a goal of each session. It's very easy to go out and be the lawnmower windsurfer that just plows up and down for hundreds of kilometers or meters, however far your sailing area is, without actually trying something. So make some goals. And that goal could be as simple as, I'm going to do shorter runs today. Can you do half the distance that you'd normally go before going for a tack, a jibe, a manoeuvre, whatever it is you might be going for? The more of something you try, the more chances you've got of getting it right. Bearing, of course, I think my quote that I love, a quote from Einstein, doing the same thing again and again and expecting different results is the definition of insanity. So try something different. Try something new. If your jibes are okay, mix them up and go for something different. If that jibe's not working, then try something different again. Mix them up and give it a bit of a go. If you haven't already, of course, make sure you hit subscribe in the bottom of this channel. And if you are coming out to Vassiliki for some crazy winds like I've got right now, hit me up. All my contact details are in the description. I'll see you out here for some private coaching or maybe little mini groups that I've got running throughout the place. Okay, coming in towards the beach. Final jibe of the session. Got some space. Accelerating, broad reach. This is super quick. Duck. I'm actually still switch stance. Both feet for the exit. Double strap exit. And you know what? We'll leave it there. I'll see you next time out here on the Ridealong channel. Back on my heels. Back towards the beach to get a smaller sail. Smaller than 4-4. Let's see what I've got to rig up. Woo!